Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And it's Tanny coming to you live for Sunday sermon. I did get in the shower this morning, trying to get myself together. So as you jump on here, please say hello and tell me where you're watching from. I was trying to pull this up on my phone, but that ain't working this morning. Good morning, Miss Melanie Lewis. So as you jump on here, please do say hi. It is way more fun with friends. So say hello and tell us where you're watching from. I was trying to put my phone back together because my niece ganked my charger on my butt. And so I was like, come get your piece of crap charger. I found it. Bring me my good one back because my phone is not charging. Good morning, Gina. Good morning. So as you know, if you've been here for a while, the people that are watching right now, Gina and Melanie, are definitely OGs with the Hometown Hippie. So do me a favor and tag someone in the comments for me. But it is Sunday morning. It is 10-ish a.m. What's up from Clarksville, Virginia? And we are coming live this morning with our with what we call Sunday sermon. So we have several lives during the week. This is our last week of our current live schedule. So check out the announcements. A lot of things are changing. We are 7 days away from our closing of Hometown Hippie as you know it. And we will be reopening on June the 1st with a new process, a new website, a new menu, some new offerings, a new look. Let's put it that way, right? Not so much a new look. We're not going to change what's working. We're just going to tweak what we need to work on, right? We're just a work in progress. And I had to have a cup of coffee this morning. Let me tell y'all. So this is if you have been here for a while, and a couple that you have been watching have been, but we have been talking about aligning and being in flow. What a beautiful day it is, right? Going to spend time outside doing meditation today to get ready for the week. I love that so much, Melanie. I love that. I am going to go get my feet out in the dirt today as well. But we have been talking here in the party with Tammy. Sometimes things come in and I don't know what they mean and we work through them. But we have been talking about getting into alignment and whenever what you want. And this is really what's coming in today. I was in the shower and some things were coming in hot and heavy. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. It's what I said out loud in the shower to my angels, guides, and helpers. It's Sunday morning. I try on Sundays to get in the shower. And I to get showered before Sunday sermon. That always happens. But this morning, I got up at 9:35, mind you, because we had 420 crazy last night, right? I'm gonna also go in here and tag some people and tell y'all what happened last night, what happened with the story, right? So I got up at 9:30 this morning and I got in the shower and I was like, I gotta get in the shower. I started my coffee. Red is we had a terrible rainy day yesterday. He spent the day, if you can see that little piece right there in the corner, that is my new kitchen island that Red spent the day putting together yesterday for me. It didn't take him all day. It took him like 2 hours, and just because, you know, he was fiddling about. I'm lucky to have someone to do that without it being a whole big thing, right? And he can do it pretty easily and pretty effectively and all of the things. So I am going to tag a few people so they can get in here and see this morning. We are also going to talk about what came through in the shower this morning. I'm just trying to tag a few folks to get them in here this morning because I feel like somebody needs to hear this. Where's Elizabeth Clark at? That's who I'm missing. I'm trying to always get to Elizabeth. She's an E, and I don't ever get to the E's before everybody starts popping on and I get busy. Elizabeth Jackson, all my Elizabeths. Let's go ahead and get the Elizabeths in here. Elizabeth Clark. And there's a couple other ones that probably need to be in here today. But like I said, I got up at 9:35 this morning. And I was like a little bit panicked when I get up that late. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop worrying about who's what. Power of one, right? So I got up at 9:30 this morning. I was like, okay, let's see if he went fishing. Good morning, good morning. So his idea today was it rained all day yesterday. He said, I'm gonna do my chores. He went to the dump. He put my thing together. He did all the little chippity chores around here yesterday. And he's like, I want to go get my kayak in the water, in big water today on Sunday, he said, because I got all this new fish finder. For his birthday, I got him a fish finder, and he got a new mounting thing where it's all mounted under, and it can give him like where the fish are beside him, behind him, below him, fish shit. I don't know, like fish stuff. Like I don't do fishing, but whatever. So he's out today on the water. So I got up at 9:30 this morning. Now normally about 9:15. Honestly, this is the God's honest truth. If he's home and it's one of those mornings where we're just kind of getting chores done on Sunday and I'm doing Sunday sermon, normally I start working back in my office on Sunday. Saturday is my one day to kind of take it easy. But after this, I start updating menus and I start into the weekly routine. And he wasn't home this morning, right? So normally he comes in about 9:15. He goes, hey, Sunday sermon's at 10. Don't you need to get up and get moving? And he was like, I got your coffee going. So normally I'll get up on Sunday mornings when he's home. He'll tell me, go get a shower. I'll make your coffee. And he normally has my coffee made for me on Sunday mornings. But this morning I got up, right? And I'm like, oh shit, it's 9:35. I've got to be in Sunday sermon, but I'm not. I need to get a shower. I need to get my bearings. We had a 420 cookie last night, so not a whole lot of like sketching and a lot of stuff came in. Good morning, but I didn't write a lot of it down. I was like, I'm gonna go take a shower this morning. I'm home by myself. Started my shower. I started my coffee. Went in the bathroom. Started my shower, and I was like, took a deep breath. And I'm gonna tell y'all something kind of funny. And today is the Scorpio blood full moon with the lunar eclipse, so that's all part of this today. So make sure you're staying in. Make sure you're tagging somebody. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So let's just say I found a new grounding technique that I'm not going to share this morning. I'm home doing my online driving course. Oh, y'all send that person some love. I'm not sure who this is because it says Facebook user, but whoever this is doing an online driving course. Can y'all all like tap on that we care button, that little heart button that's the little smiley face holding the heart, and send them some we care energy or some big thumbs up energy to make sure they do right and they get all the things they need out of that class today, because that's always that's a bummer for a beautiful day like this. But at least you're not in a classroom with a bunch of other delinquent drivers like I had to do it every time. You get to sit at home and do it at least. That's always looking at the positive side. So I got up and I was like, I didn't really get anything ready for Sunday sermon. I'm a little late getting ready, but I do not want, and I never want to throw it together. Like I was like, I don't want to go there this morning and tell them that I'm not prepared and let's see what comes up. I was like, I'm going to take some deep breaths and I am going to, there's got to be something because I feel like there's something. I just don't know what it is. Right. So I'm in the shower this morning and I'm drinking my coffee. I'm like, man, I did okay. I'm like, I can get a quick shower. I'm going to wash all the required pieces, right? The hair, the hoo-ha, the butt, all, the face, all the things. The pits, all the places that might stink. Because I took a shower last night. Like, I don't really stink. It's a quick shower, right? I don't think I ever get in the shower. Like, I have had a shower. I'm like, God, I stink. Like, I have been sweating. I'm ready for a shower. But there's also the shower where I'm just doing this as a courtesy to wash my hair, but I'd rather just wash my whole body and wake myself up. That's what today was. And so my coffee's brewing. I'm in the shower. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what are we talking about today? I'm like, give me the message that is the message for the people that need to hear the message. I got up this morning on time. I felt like I needed to do Sunday sermon, so I got moving. Because some days when I'm like, it's just not a message today, it's just not meant to be, I'll just send y'all a message like, hey, not today, Satan, not today. Because there's no reason to waste your time, right? There's no reason to waste your time or mine to try to make something happen, to force something versus allowing it to come through and you stand in your power with it. I said, I feel like I'm supposed to say something today, but I don't know what I'm supposed to say. And I'd really like for you to give me some guidance. And it all came flooding in. And I was like, I understand. I don't want to talk about that. I'm like, that's uncomfortable. And people don't want to be uncomfortable. And I don't want to talk about it, right? I don't want anybody to think that I'm preaching. And then my guy goes, it's Sunday sermon. They're coming to church. Take them to church. And I'm like, but I don't want to. She's like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And that was interesting, right? And that's what today's sermon is starting about. It's whenever my guides and helpers are like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And I was like, I don't. It's like, yeah, you do. And I'm like, okay. And I did this. I talked about this probably about a year ago in Party with Tammy, because it popped up recently and it's been on my mind a lot. And you know, give me some comments below, right? I'd like to hear from y'all on this one, okay? So I'm gonna take this little banner down. Let's commenting. Let me do this banner. Let me take that down. Everybody should be telling me hello and telling me where you're watching from, right? But about a year ago, something kept coming up. Something kept coming up. Something kept coming up because my goal was to always to be exactly. Melanie says everything we talk about is uncomfortable for someone at some point, but it's what we need to hear. Yeah, and I know. And this one's uncomfortable for me. And I've talked about this a couple of times. It's about how we upper limit ourselves. Does anybody ever remember me? Yes or no? Like, tell me in the comments. I want y'all to tell me in the comments, right? What is the one, like right now, right? Is yes or just a yes or no? I don't need to get in your business. Yes or no question. Right now in your life, is there something that needs to be done, but you just keep pushing it down? You just keep kicking the can. You just keep kicking the can down the road. Yes or no? Is there something? I feel like this is a big topic today. I feel like a lot of you have this, right? If you're watching me, and 7 of you watch me right now, so number one, say yes or no. Is there something that is happening that you don't want to deal with? And it's like an uncomfortable conversation or a job or something, and you just keep kicking the can down the road, just prolonging the inevitable, right? Just like, I'm dreading this. I don't want to deal with this shit, so I'm just going to do the easier thing, right? I'm just going to do the easier thing. I'm just going to kick this can down the road and hope that either it goes away by itself magically, which I know it's not going to do, or, now. So, yes, right? So I'm going to give an example of that. Hey, what's going on? Again, it just says Facebook user. So please let me know who you are. Give StreamYard permission to see your face. So yes, so everybody on here pretty much can say that, we all have that thing that we are dreading. Maybe it's finding a new job. Maybe it's leaving a spouse or a partner. Maybe it's just, what's up, Melissa? Maybe it's cleaning a room. Maybe it's whatever it may be, right? But we all do it. And it's fantasy versus reality, right? Or like reality versus fiction, fiction versus reality. What's up, Melissa? What's up, Elizabeth? What's up, everybody? What's up, Mel? Catherine, what's going on, girlfriend? I just noticed that you were on here. You had not told me where you're watching from yet. But as you are jumping on here, do me a favor. Say hello. Tell me where you're watching from today. I'd like to see where all the people are coming from. So say hello, tell me where you're watching from. Melissa Lentz. What's up, Melissa Lentz? So I've had one of those things, and one of those things in my life has been, I always have a room. I always have a room that is a catch-all room, and we've talked about this at home. I'm the one taking that. Girlfriend, meh, meh. I don't like that at all. It's right. But I'm going to use that. I'm not saying that she did, because she could have months before that is due. But I know for me, like, one of the things that I do, right, the things that we dread, like I had that room back there, that like online driving school. Like I had my one of those things where you take the online driving school before you go to court. They will do all the things, and like the ticket won't count. You can't get a speeding ticket for a year or whatever, but it doesn't hurt your insurance or your license points, right? And every time I've had to do that, I've waited to like the weekend before it was due, right? I have kicked that can down the road, right? And I'm not sure Catherine did that, but I'm saying I kicked that can down the road until the last possible minute. Now, I have kicked the can down the road on the uncomfortable conversation. I have kicked the can down the road on leaving a job or whatever, right? And the reason that we do that, what do you think the reason that we do that is, right? It's because we have built up. The court is the 18th. It's 3 days before. See, so she knows, right? She knows. We kick those uncomfortable, those cans down the road until we have to deal with it, right? Until we're forced to deal with it. And right now, I am in a place in my life, and we're dealing with the Scorpio new moon, right? Where we're talking about, right? Fear, right? Fear of the buildup. And here's what I'm going to tell you, right? We just don't want to deal with the issues at hand. It's because we are afraid of the issues at hand. We don't want to have to look at ourselves in those things. Because most of the time, it's either like something we have to do that's hard work. We think it's going to be way harder than it is. Or we are feeling like everybody's going to be mad at us, right? Everybody's going to be mad at me. If I say that, they're going to be mad at me, or someone's going to judge me. And that's all from a place of fear. We only operate from two places: fear and love. Right? So when we're kicking something on the road, I always say there's like a duality to everything. Like, I'm afraid of what that work looks like. I'm afraid of what the world looks like after I do that task. And because I love myself, I'm self-persevering, right? I am self-saving by not doing it. I'm kicking it. I'm avoiding. I'm a fear. It's definitely a fear-based thing, right? We do that until we're forced to do it. Then it's not, oh, I had to deal with that right now, right? Because I'm forced to. Maybe a court date is coming. Maybe, you're forced to. It's right in your face where you have to deal with it. And this is what the universe is showing me from my angels, guides, and helpers on how things are connected. And not just things, but when you talk about power versus force and being in flow, and how those decisions just not to clean up the junk room and continuing to make excuses about why I don't need to clean up the junk room and why that can wait. And my dog's being ridiculous. Y'all can see a good picture of my chest right now, Fluffernutter. I don't know what she's up to. Just stretching herself out, right? But when we continue to push that down the road, right, we are not standing in our power. Right? We are not doing ourselves any favors. Right? I made it. I'm glad we're not doing ourselves any favors when we kick that down the road, or we put that off, or we do it. We wait until we're forced into the corner to do it, because we know that nothing good comes from force, right? We want to stand in power. And when you're forced to do it, like whenever, like say, for example, I waited. I'm just using Catherine. I love you for being here, right? Whenever you waited till the 15th to take the class, right? Now, if something, if something would have happened with technology and you were not able to, like there would have been a storm today, or a family emergency, or something came up today that prevented you from taking this class today before court on the 18th, right? Because, and I've done this, because, we waited till we were forced to have to do it to the last minute. If something comes up and then we go to the court, we're like, well, it's not our fault. I can't help that XYZ happened. I can't help that a storm came and knocked out all of the technology and I couldn't take the class. I was signed up for it. That was my plan, right? But look at it from this standpoint, right? Had you not waited till the last minute, you would have had time to take it again or do it again. You would have had the power to have it done before court. But we back ourselves into these corners. These are when we upper limit ourselves. And we're talking about upper limiting today. And that's the thing, right? See this, whenever I tell you, I was in the shower this morning when this message came in. I said, I don't want to. And my angels, guides, and helpers says, yes, you do. And I was like, no, I don't. And they said, yes, you do. And more than anything, more than wanting to do it, and that's what they said, it's like, it's not so much that you want to do it. This is what you need to do. And we've talked about, you can't always get what you want, but you just might find you get what you need, right? Oh, yeah. And it's about aligning and understanding that what I want and what I need to be the same thing. And when you are working in a place from your power, right? When you're working at a place from standing in your power to what you want is exactly what you need. You know those people when they get their life together, those people who get in alignment and get good with like their health and their eating food? Literally did not want to, right? And people who like go to this restaurant and like there's not even an option. Like, I'll just have the chicken Caesar with the salad dressing on the side, no croutons, a glass of your sparkling cucumber infused water. And they are just like, that is going to be delicious. Like, you look at them and they are as excited about that order with the water and the lettuce and the no dressing and some grilled chicken as you are about a cheeseburger and french fries and a soda, right? They are as like, their mouth is watering as much for that as you are for the bad thing. They're like, they're vibing so high that their bodies and their minds and everything about them is craving exactly what their body needs, right? That is getting into alignment. Is what I say to people. Like, when you can get into alignment where what you want is what you need, or understanding and being in touch with yourself to the point, right, where what you want is exactly what you need. You're like, hey, you know what I need to do today? I need to do this. This is what I need to do. And I feel good about that. Like, I am taking care of me. I am doing the things for me. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I have been in a place in my life where I was in alignment. And here's the thing. We're always like you can be like everything bouncing back and forth like that abacus, like everything is boom, boom. I got it. I take that hit from there. I'll take that hit from there. Boom. I am just riding these waves. Everything is good. And then somebody comes into that, machine and everything, all the balls are just hitting for doom. You're just hitting on all cylinders. And then a finger gets into the wreck and you get all screwed up for a second and things get out of alignment. And then you get back into your groove. And here's the thing, right? Sometimes we get stuck and we take that detour and we get stuck in that wonky pattern and we have trouble getting back into sync, right? We have trouble getting back into flow. And that's what we're talking about today, right? We're talking about today about making decisions and understanding what our guides, angels, and helpers are doing to help us get back into flow. Because that's where a lot of us, like, if you know below, right? I want you to tell me, like, do you feel like, because the people are different places. Tell me right now, and you can be honest, because some people probably feel great right now. They're doing amazing things. Do you feel in flow, like everything is kind of flowing and going in the right direction? Or do you feel out of flow where you're trying to like swim upriver, right? Are you floating down the river or are you swimming upriver? Floating down or swimming up? And that's kind of what I feel about power versus force, right? When you're standing in your power, when you're in flow, I imagine that. This is how I see it, right? I see that as how many people below also like in flow or out of flow. And tell me, have you ever floated the river? I feel like if you're here and you're like called to be in my VIP, any of my groups, I feel like you have floated down a river before, like on an inner tube, on a kayak, maybe on whatever was able to float on, maybe on your ass. I don't know, like what, floaty wings and a beer. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you understand, right? When the river's got good water in it, like you're floating on the day when floating with some small rapids. I love it. Floating down the river, right? So there's a flow. In flow is when there's like you ain't got to get out and walk any parts of it. Like, you're just out there living the life. I have, and I loved it, right? Near me, right? Yeah, we float the river. Like, we get on the water and we float the river, and that's in flow. When you're going down the river, right? When you're going down the river and you're in your tube or you're on your kayak, I love it. So y'all are floating, but it's rough in a fun way. So yeah, so that's another way of looking at it, right? Like somebody said, some small rapids. Sometimes you got to get like a little bumpy, right? As long as you're staying in flow and you know you're heading in the right direction, you're good. But, at some point, right? Some point in the river, you gotta take out. You got to take out and you got to get off the river and you got to get out the boat. You got to get off flow when you're floating a river. Like, that's the process. You got to go home at some point, right? And have you ever missed your takeout point? You had to paddle back up river and paddle back up against the current, against all the things that are coming at you. It's bumpy and I'm kind of drowning. Man, I have missed you all so much this week. It's bumpy and I'm kind of drowning. And I understand that too, right? I understand that too. And y'all, I need y'all to do me a favor. I'm not sure who this is because I can't see the names, but you know what we need to do? We need to send some love energy out to this person. We need to get some love energy out to this person. And here's what I'm going to tell you, right? If it's bumpy and you're kind of drowning, and I expected a lot more people, right? I've expected a lot more people to say that just because of the energy that we're in right now, right? We're in all kinds of retrogrades. I think Mercury and Pluto in retrograde. We've had solar flares. We got this full moon energy coming in tonight with the lunar eclipse. We have got so much stuff going on, right? And I have kind of felt exactly this way. I have felt for about a month now, it's bumpy and I'm kind of drowning. And I feel this to my core. I really do. When I say we have to, you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. And what I've found for me is when it's bumpy and I'm kind of drowning, it's like I am making choices for my life that are making me bumpy and kind of drowning because I am trying to force my life into a route in a way that is not aligned to me, that is not meant for me. The universe does not want us to have what is not ours. It's Kalima. Yes, the universe does not wants us to not have what is not good for us, right? And sometimes we are not, number one, for me, I've found this is for me. Whenever I'm bumpy, and this is what it is for me, I'm doing deep, deep, deep shadow work right now. So for me, when it's bumpy and I'm kind of drowning anymore, it's because the shadow work is being forced into the light. And some of you are probably watching this and you're like, you talk about some of these terms. And some of us know probably what shadow work means, and some of us don't. Can anybody tell me what shadow work means? Does anybody know? Because I can't put comments. I'm going to try to put it into I'm going to try to put it into the banners maybe. But basically shadow work is working with your unconscious mind to uncover the parts of yourself that you repress and hide from the world. It's like your inner shadow, right? The parts of you that you feel are too ugly for the world to see. The parts of you, the insecurities, the childhood trauma, the adult trauma, the things that we deal with that nobody else deals with, the stuff that we go to sleep with is what I tell people all the time, right? And for me, all of those insecurities, all of those unconscious mind things that I have been battling, all of those I'm not good enough, all of those, is it ever really going to happen? All of those, is this the day that it ends? Exactly. See, that's the thing, right? That's where we're at. This is for you today. I said when I was in the shower, I was like, that's exactly what I said in the shower was, I don't wanna. That's what I said to my angels, guides, and helpers. Are like, yes, you do. Right? Because here's the thing, right? Are you tired? Are you tired of doing this? Grabbing that air and drinking water and then coming up and spitting water out the next time and then getting knocked over by a wave and being caught in that like constant struggle of like, I'm getting by, but it's beating me up. I'm getting beat against the rocks, right? I'm tired of feeling bumpy and I'm tired of feeling like I was drowning. And I know that you are too, right? And you have to face it all. You have to face it because I'm going to tell you what I've been coming in. This specific thing has been coming in and coming in and coming in and coming in and coming in over and over and over and over. And here's how it's coming in. It's coming in through new clients. It's coming in through people that I am accepting ourselves for who we are, fixing our inner demons, right? And what I mean by fixing our inner demons, sometimes it is doing things that I look back on in my mind's eye, that movie that you replay for yourself, that movie of your life that plays on your back of your eyelids, right? The things that you can, it like highlights all of the things that you're like, I was a fucking idiot, right? I was a moron. Why did I do that? What was I thinking? Why did I make that decision? It's my fault. All those things that you play in your head, right? It is going to that part. I kind of like visit the movie. It's how I deal with mine. I'm like, okay, with the information that I had in this moment, right? With who I was, because what happens is your higher self, your more enlightened self, your more mature self, your person who's lived through that and learned that lesson. That's what it's come to me. That's how my higher self has explained it. My higher self explains it. She says, I'm showing you these things. And I always laugh because I call it your higher self. And I'm like, I don't think myself could be any higher, right? I don't think myself could be any higher. I am my highest self on a daily basis. But what I do is this is what my higher self, my more enlightened being says. This is, you see what you're sitting here judging this moment of bad decisions. Like, sure, I'll go with you back to your room to get that. Right? Um, my spidey senses, I didn't have spidey senses to know what that could have meant, going back into a bedroom with a fraternity boy on a, in an empty house, right? After we've been drinking, right? My spidey senses didn't go off. Now my spidey senses go off when I'm put in that situation. Not that I'm ever put in a situation with a fraternity boy on a Tuesday night again, ever. But you know what I mean. I feel like a lot of you can pick up what I'm laying down, right? All the things that we are mad at ourselves, like we should have known better, or I should have done better, or that was such a bad choice. And look at me drinking my face off, and look at me making this bad choice, and look at me telling this secret on this friend because I was doing something. I was trying to be friendly with this person. All of the things that we do that we judge ourselves on, like things that I did at 12 years old, I'm judging myself on at 48 years old. And my higher self says to me, you are who you are today. That 12-year-old making those bad gossiping decisions and telling that little white lie because you thought it'd make you look cool because you were insecure and crazy. And I know it makes you feel silly at 48, but that's because your brain is a 48-year-old brain who lived through the consequences of those choices. I'm like, okay, I get that. Okay, I can forgive her, right? I can forgive 12-year-old Tammy. She deserves it. She was 12 and she was dealing with some childhood trauma and doing the best she could do. And she still got, I give her credit. What about 30-year-old Tammy, who still made some bad choices at her day job and still may have talked shit behind people's back and may have still been an instigator at times because we were the cool group and there was another group we didn't like, and I was 30 years old and I've learned that 12-year-old lesson, but I still made that lesson again. How do you forgive her? And I will argue with my higher selves, right? And my higher self again, had she forgiven herself? Had she forgiven 12-year-old Tammy? She hadn't. She was still living in 12-year-old a lot of those trauma experiences. And you were afraid of what was going to happen as you were in a new environment. And it really, like, able to see that on a screen. I love that, Gina. I love that. Gina says you can't unscramble eggs, but you can put seasoning, cook, and eat those bad boys. Now, here's what I can tell you about that, right? You can't unscramble eggs. You cannot unscramble eggs. But the next time that you go to cook eggs, you want them fried, not to mix them up. You know how to crack the egg to save the yolk. Right? Not only does it learn, like, you have to learn how to move through, right? And deal with the lessons and the eggs that you scrambled. And like Gina said, put some seasonings on them and eat them bad boys up because you ate it, you made your bed, now you got to lie in it, right? And that's exactly what it is, right? But it's also the lesson or the blessing, like Kalima says, right? You learn from that experience, right? And I love this. Boom. You can't change the past, but you can control your future. Oh, the guilt, the self-sabotage, and that's where upper limiting comes in. And that's exactly what today's message was about. Stop upper limiting yourself. Stop convicting yourself of the crimes that you have convicted yourself of when you were 5 and 6 and 7 and 9 and 12 and 30 and 10 and 5. I'm like, so long ago, or even yesterday. Because you're not the same person you were yesterday, right? Stop doing that. Those things leave marks on us. We can't erase them because they are who we are. We can make better choices. Everything has a price. You are willing to spend your energy that way. Always learning, right? That is perspective. I had not realized my 50-year-old brain is judging the hell out of my, yes, you can't, right? Because it is like being mad at yourself when you were born because you couldn't walk or you couldn't tell your parents what you wanted. You were not able to at that time. You are able to now. We cannot, the reason the rear view mirror is this big, right? It's because you're not going that way. You can glance in the mirror to remember where you've been, to not repeat those things. But you're looking at that giant windshield because it's huge because you're going forward. And you have to enjoy each moment for what it is, right? We've talked about this recently as well. We cannot ruin our today. We cannot ruin our today by fussing about what happened yesterday and stressing over what's going to happen tomorrow. You're just ruining your today. And all life is a series of amazing todays, right? Just for today. And they say anything that you do for 28 days becomes a habit. And that's how I started all of my healing, all of my journeys, is that I just said, you know what? I'm not going to say forevermore, I am going to never eat a sweet cake again. I'm never going to put bad food in my body. I'm never going to make another shitty choice I'm always going to make the right choice. I'm going to forgive myself forevermore. That's crazy talk, right? We can't make that promise. And then when we don't do it in 3 days, we feel like a complete failure, right? But here's how I retrained my brain. I said, if I have to live in the today, I have to live in the present, right? Yesterday's a mystery. Yesterday's history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today is the present, and that's why today's a gift. That's why it's called the present, right? If I'm going to enjoy my present, my gift of every day, I have to not think about forevermore. I'm just going to get up every single day, and I'm going to do the very best that I can do for that day. And that's my 4 agreements training, right? My 4 agreements training is, and I laugh because I'm like, we judge ourselves. Somebody was saying that it's never too late. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. If you're still breathing, you still have a chance to do that, right? If you are still breathing, you have a chance. I don't care if you're hearing this and you're 21 and maybe you're feeling weird. Like, hey, how lucky are you that this information's out here a lot earlier than it was for me? But just for today, I'm going to do the very best I can do for today. I'm going to go in and I'm going to give today all that I've got. Not worried about tomorrow. I'm not worried about what happened before I woke up that day, because that's already gone and that's already baked and that's already written in the books, right? That's already written in the books. What I can control is exactly how I am today. And I'm conscientious about just for today. And after about a month, it's just how you are, right? It's just, you make better choices. It's more just like we do that, that weird upper limiting thing so very easily, that worrying about what could be so easily. Just like we are able to say like, oh, woe is me, the world is coming to the end, the bad thing is going to happen. I know what's going to happen. Just, don't jinx it. How many times does something good happen? You're like, man, the house looks good. You look good. I'm so glad you're doing well. I've seen people like, great day. You look amazing. I'm like, they're like, don't jinx it. They'll knock on their head. They're like, oh, you better knock on some wood. Don't say anything. Things have been going good for a while, but I don't want to jinx it. And then I feel like right in that moment when they say that, right? Right in that moment when they jinx it is when it jinxes it. It's right there. It's like, oh, the universe gave you an opportunity right here to say, thank you. I am working really hard for things to be great. And that's what I've been doing, right? That's when I had like done the keto and I was losing like weight. Hey, I lost 100 pounds. Like I said, I put some of it back on, but not all of it, but I put some of it back on. And I'd see people out in public like, oh my God, Tammy, you look like a different person. I'm like, thank you. I've worked very hard for that. Thank you. I have worked very hard for that. I changed the way that I'm eating and I started loving myself. Right. And somebody was with me one day. They're like, well, you didn't sound modest at all. And I'm like, why should I be modest? I've worked my ass off for the last year to lose 100 pounds. I do look good. And what's the point of me acting humble brag about it? It's a lot of work. I do feel good. And this is how I did it. Well, don't you? I'm like, no, why should I feel bad about that? I didn't say anything. Like, I didn't say like, well, I'm amazing. I said, I did keto. I've lost this much weight and I feel good about it. And then like, I would just feel like I was bragging. I'm like, well, it's not bragging if you did it. I'm like, it's not being conceited if you did it. I'm like, I wasn't saying that in an egotistical way. I was stating the fucking facts. And it's okay to have good facts about yourself. You had no problem telling them how everything was awful. I'd be more embarrassed to say all those things, right? Well, how are things? Well, they start the story a couple months ago. And I'm like, why are you talking about what happened a couple of months ago? You're still living in a couple of months ago. You're mad at me for saying, yes, I have busted my ass and I'm currently still doing keto. I started it this year, but I'm still currently on it as long as I eat clean and blah, blah, blah. You started talking about, well, a couple months ago, they started asking us to work overtime. I mean, you told this sob story. You had no problem telling that. What is it, baby? Hang on, y'all. I think she needs to go potty. Let me let her out. Let me see if I can get her out. What you need? You need to go outside? Come here. Come on. Come here. Come here. I want you out the back door. Yeah, potty, come on. Come on. Outside. Go potty. Sorry, y'all. And I forgot I was in shorty shorts. I forgot I was in shorty shorts. Why do we feel comfortable telling people the sob story, but not the glow up story, right? Because we have been conditioned. We have been conditioned to live in the suck. We have been conditioned that the suck is normal. And that anybody who doesn't have the suck at all times, right, is lucky. How lucky is that? Aren't you lucky? Right? Can anybody relate to that? Can I get some thumbs up, some hearts? Does that make sense? Because I'm going to tell you something. Words are powerful. Words are magic. Words are powerful. And the story we tell ourselves, the story we tell our world, the story we tell other people matters. And we talked about this before about being the victim or the victor. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in this moment, some people are exactly like Kalima said. Some people are right now, things are bumpy and you feel like you're drowning. And I get that. And I'm never, ever saying that we should not speak our truth, if that's where we're at in life, right? But if we continue to tell that story of woe is me, then we're always going to live in the woe is me. When I'm drowning, I have been drowning and feeling like I've been doing shadow work. I've been out front with it, right? I have been out front with it about how I am really good to give, and do. My right side of my body, my shoulder, I feel like I'm carrying the weight of the world. All the energy that's stuck in me, all of the things that are wrong with me, it's because I am not in flow. I am not standing in my power. I am not doing the things I needed to take care of myself. That is very much the truth of the matter. When I tell this story, though, here's what I say. I am working daily. At understanding that it is as important to it's better to give than receive. But sometimes you need to have a balance of giving and receiving. And it is not about saying like, okay, I do all this. I need all. It's not about that, right? Listen to this. Heather and Tammy are hitting the nail on the head. Yes. Right? And I want you to think about this, right? This is where Heather just said something that's important, right? Where's it at? Here it is, right here. And you may not notice the difference at first, but trust me, the people around you will notice. Some will like it and some won't. And that's normally what holds us back from doing the work, right? Our fear of being judged, our fear of what others are going to think, our fear of everything, right? Our fear of people pleasing. Hang on, I gotta go get this dog, y'all. She's at the front door now. Chesapeake, you are ridiculous. Mom did not let you out that door. Mom let you out that door. Now she wants a treaty, y'all. Come on. Come on, we gotta talk to the people. Sorry, y'all. Sit. Good girl. She's such a good girl. She's such a good girl. Because we're fear, right? We're afraid of that. You know, and then we use that as an excuse, right? We lean in to, well, my partner, like for me, it was easy, right? Well, Red doesn't get all of my woo woo, and it's not fair to him for me to be dealing with all this. So I'll just shove it back down in and deal with it later because it's not fair to other people. And then I said to myself this, right? I was like, I don't love Red any less, but to love him the way he needs to be loved. And this is where it goes into that other sermon, right? And this is the important part of it. This is the important part of it. And this is the hard part of it, right? We are using them as a scapegoat because we don't love ourselves enough to heal. If you are making excuses as to why you were kicking that can down the road where you're not dealing with that thing, that shadow work, now, all y'all said you had something you were kicking down the road. Some of y'all, it might have been something little. Some of y'all might be something big. Some of y'all might be something like Goldilocks, right? Just a little, just right. But regardless of whatever it is, right? I'm going to encourage you today to go tackle it. I used to teach a class in corporate America. I was a corporate trainer. Go figure, right? I was a corporate trainer. I found a box of stuff back in the back when we were cleaning up the rooms the other day. Melanie was looking through some of my college stuff. She's like, what is this? I was like, that is all of my certificates and all of my training stuff. I had books and plaques where I was a certified trainer and all the things. I was a certified corporate trainer. And one of the classes I taught was about time management in corporate America. And there's this book that I had everybody read called Eat the Frog. And it's about the thing that you hate to do all day that sits on your desk owns real estate in your brain, in your day, and on your desk. So if you have a task that you hate to do, it's like eating a frog, right? Nobody wants to eat a frog because it looks disgusting and nobody wants to eat the frog. But it's important to just eat the frog first, right? And get it off your desk because you'll see how much better your life is. Now, I'm going to use my example of what I kicked down the road. We have been here since 2019. And when we moved here, we moved from a house that had 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, like 3,000 square feet, a full garage, a full attic, all the things. We moved into a house that had no garage, no attic, 1 bathroom. And we moved pretty abruptly. And so I had a room in the back, and I've always had it. I've always had a junk room, a junk drawer. I've always had a junk room. I don't even just have a junk drawer. I always have a junk room. So Evan got the small bedroom. He had a bunch of stuff that he had in storage. We just threw everything back into the room by the bathroom. This is crazy. Melanie says that she had a psychic reading the other day, and she literally almost word for word told her what I had said for a card I had pulled for her one night. Y'all both started with, I needed to speak what I wanted into. Yes. And you'll see all of these things on my walls, right? I'm going to pull y'all off of here probably crazily. But I tell y'all all the time, like that's my little mannequin, sorry. That's where I put t-shirts and stuff on and lingerie is what I had it on. But yes, so I have those things up there. And then over here on this, I have this. It says, never let a stumble in the road be the end of your journey. Refuse to be anything but successful. I am grateful for to remind myself to have gratitude. Then it says, we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. And it says, be stronger than your excuses. Over there, I have my signs over there. I'm sorry, y'all. I know this is probably making y'all sick as a dog because it's making me kind of like nauseated. Over there, I have financial freedom, free time. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first. And then a sign that says, I now do work I love and I'm well paid for. Because manifestation is very important, right? And manifest, Melanie Lewis, it won't happen till you speak your truth. You have to speak your truth. You have to. Kalima, you have to address it, right? We cannot continue to kick the can. We cannot continue to let that frog sit on our desk and just take up real estate. I had that room and it's been a source of so here's the thing, right? Energy gets stuck in places, and I had a lot of stuck energy in my house. Yep. Yep. You know that. I mean, you know it. You know it. Just like you avoided retreat, right? You don't want to deal with it yet. But I'm going to tell you that once you clear that energy, once you clear that space, once you stop avoiding it and you address it and you walk into it, you're going to find, number one, it's not as bad as you thought. Because here's the thing, right? Here's why it's not as bad as you thought. People are like, it is bad. It's awful. I don't want to deal with it. I'm like, I get that. But what I found was, right, is that I've been dealing with it for 3 years. And I'm just using the room as like a metaphorical, y'all know what I'm saying. Melanie and I thought it was going to take, I thought it was going to take like 3 months to get that room in order. I'm like, we got to do this. 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 Melanie went in there and her and I was like, okay, well, and she got it all put ready to be put because it's got to be like kept. Some of it's got to have bookshelves and stuff. I just need to go through and like, there's like 2 bags of trash and some Goodwill stuff. But y'all, it literally less than a day, like less than 5 hours, it was done. Done-ish, done like I needed to get done right now, like done what I was gonna donezo, like feeling better about it. And I was like, this has been my like thorn in my side for 3 years, and in less than 3 hours, somebody else went there and just knocked the shit out the way, right? After Red got done putting that island together, this is just using this for me is very much things I can tangibly touch and do. Red put that island together yesterday, right? And when he got done, it was a disaster. There was like little like styrofoam little pieces everywhere where all the things are packaged in plastic and little pieces of the box, and just a mess in my kitchen. Just a mess in my kitchen. And I was like, ugh. I was like, why am I dreading this, right? It's like, it won't take us, it's going to take me more time to sit here and dread and to build it up in my mind than it is just to jump in and do it, right? Red was going to the dump. He took all the trash out. I said, I'm going to let you get all the stuff out, go into the dump, and then when you're gone, I'll start dealing with this. Before he got back from the dump, y'all, and the dump is like 3-4 miles down the road, the house was put back in order, the dishes, everything. It took no time. It took more time for the dread. The dread was way bigger, right? The dread was way bigger than the task. Because what we have to realize is that our mind can make things bigger than they are. We are imagining something, and our imagination is way bigger than our reality, right? So whatever it is you're kicking down the road, it's taking it's a lot more energy. It's a lot harder the longer you just kick it down the road. It's kind of like that car, right? Kind of like that momentum, talking about the car at the top of the mountain, that curvy road in San Francisco, where if you wait till the car gets to the bottom of that curvy road to stop the momentum of it, it's going to run you over because it's so big. It's so much. But if you get out in front of that problem or that car at the top of the hill, you can stop it. It's the same thing with whatever it is that you're kicking down the road. Whatever that avoided conversation, whatever that avoided thing is. Because every time that I have kicked something down the road when I've actually charged in to handle it, it's like, wow, this is uncomfortable right now, but it's done. It's over. It's like every little thing that you handle like that, it's like another little weight, right? And your shoulders can drop a little bit further, right? Your jaw can unclench just a little bit more. The weight of that world is like just lifted and you feel a little bit lighter. You feel a little bit more alive. You feel a little bit more ascended. You feel a little bit more evolved. My 50-year-old brain can forgive my 12-year-old brain a little bit quicker, right? And you start seeing that progression. And every time that you make that's shadow work, right? That is shadow work. I feel like the cans we kick are the shadow work sometimes. And when we deal with those things, we can have a little bit of, but a lot of times it looks like work. A lot of time the universe answers all of our prayers. The universe answers all of our things that we are shows us and manifests all the things that we are asking for, but those things come disguised as work. And that's why we miss so many of our blessings, because we are like afraid of it a little bit, right? And I tell this story all the time, and I know y'all have heard me tell it, so I apologize, but it's like not understanding when God's like, I said the flood story, right? Where the world is flooding, or this place is flooding, and this guy won't leave his house, and this rescue worker shows up and says, "Hey, it's flooding. We're taking people out of here. Come on, let's go." And the guy goes, "No, God will save me." He says, "Okay, buddy, it's on you." Then it's a little while later, a couple of hours later, it's getting higher, and he's on the second floor of his house, and a boat comes to the window and says, "Hey, we're here evacuating to save you. We're here to save you. Get in the boat. We'll take you out of here." And the guy goes, "No, because I am waiting. My God is going to save me." And then it gets even higher. He gets to the roof of his house. A helicopter comes and lands on it. He turns it away, and he says, "No, my God will save me. He's going to send me what I needed." And he dies and goes to heaven. He's like, "God, why didn't you save me?" He's like, "Dude, what the fuck? I sent you a person to tell you to get out. I sent you a boat. I sent you a helicopter. You refused them all, so you deserved, like, you got what you deserved. You blocked your blessing." So what I want you to also understand, right, is that you have to, and this is the message that I got, right? Let go of the way. Let go of the way that you have put it in your mind that things need to happen, because you're not in control of that either. Right? If you see it going, and here's the thing, like we talk ourselves into that, right? We'll talk ourselves into how it's going to go because we think it's going to go awful, but let go of that, right? Allow it to unfold the way it's supposed to unfold. If you're going to drown and there's a person saying, "Let's get you out of here before you drown," go with that person. Right? Trust that the universe is going to send the people that you need, the resources that you need to you. And that goes with staying in flow. Like that goes with staying in flow and standing in your power, right? When you are handling these situations from a place of power, I'm promising you it's going to do better. But when the universe continues to see you kick that can down the road, at some point, they're going to get to a brick wall where when you kick that can, it's going to come back and it's going to kick you. It's going to hit your shin. It's going to hit you in the eye. The universe is going to make sure that you handle that shadow work because you've got to. It's part of your soul contract. Whatever you're kicking down the road is something that you signed up for. And when you're like, "Why me?" Here's what I'm going to tell you to say. Why not me? Because I can handle this. I am stronger than whatever is meant to break me, and I am going to handle this because this is what I was sent here to do. I posted a thing the other day and yesterday about Sunday's sermon, which was interesting. I just saw it. I'm like, "Oh, I like that. I'm going to post it again." And Melanie liked it. It was yesterday I posted this, and I don't know why. It's actually something I've had for a while. And give yourself some credit for the days you made it when you thought you couldn't, right? The universe sent me to you to smack me in the head and tell me to stop kicking the can. You've got to stop kicking the can. Nothing in life is going to go forward until you stop kicking the can. You pick up the garbage and you put it in the recycling bin and you put it where it needs to go, right? That's where cans are meant to be, in the recycling bin. You learned your lesson, right? Old faithful child, you have learned your lesson. If you have not learned your lesson, then it'll kick you in the head again. But I'm telling you, when you're ready to stop kicking the can, it's time for you to head on look at that lesson and to keep things moving. Here we go. I completely understand. I'm right there with you. I have 4 daughters, and when they definitely know my mental status or how I'm feeling about my house condition as well. It's weird. It's a weird gauge, though, for us women, that part of our mental status will be gauged by the conditions of our homes. That's a conditioning thing too. I came home a changed person. To see everyone waiting for me to crack was eye-opening. My husband actually asked, "Where did my crazy wife go?" He totally said that she can stay gone, like the new better one, the one better that's been working. It's been working for sure. I love that, right? But don't you I love this. Life is hard. Life is not handed us on a platter. It's hard work. The harder road is not easy, but it's so rewarding. It is. And here's the thing, though. The harder road, y'all, the harder road, we all say it, the harder road, right? Here's the thing. The road is only as hard as we make it. We have been gifted a beautiful life. regardless of the hardships and the ugliness and the terrible things that we probably each in our own respective ways have had to endure, we have to remember, right? We have to remember something, that before we came here as a young baby soul up in the cosmos, we signed a soul contract. We knew what we were getting ourselves into, and we chose every piece of this. There's a reason for this. There's a reason for all of the things that we're dealing with, and I'm choosing that my lessons are my blessings are my lessons, and my lessons are my blessings, and that I lived in a house we built. I talked about the house we built in Richmond, and never felt like home, and we lost it. We lost that house. I tell everybody we moved, we sold our house, we came home, blah blah blah. I filed Chapter 13 bankruptcy. I've never said that out loud. I filed bankruptcy. I lost everything. I lost my job when my mom passed away, went to that steep state of depression. I was working the big corporate America job. I was making the money, doing all the things. And I tied every piece of my worth to that. Every piece of my worth to that. I was unable to have children. So this is shadow work. I'm telling you, these are the things that I have dealt with. Okay. And they're not, I don't tell these stories because they're not part of my story. They're part of where I'm at, but here's all the things, like all of the things that were my lessons that are now I look at as my blessings. Right. Um, you know, I tied my self-worth to my work because I felt like as a woman I was not valuable because I could not give birth to children. I could not bear children. So my job has always been like that. I thrust myself into my job. But then, when I started doing the shadow work, I'm like, okay, well, there's more to me than just what I can do for somebody from a monetary standpoint, right? I gauged every piece of my self-worth on materialistic and monetary things. I had the nicest house in my family, the newest cars in my family, the best TVs. I will give them money. I couldn't give them a niece. I couldn't give my sister and brother nieces and nephews, but I could buy them school clothes for their nieces, their kids. I was just basically trying to buy my way through the world, but thinking that money was going to make it better, right? I used to joke and say that it was money is not happiness, but it's way better to cry in a Mercedes than to cry riding a bicycle. I was like, it's so nice to cry in my 2-car garage and be in my 2-car garage than living on the streets. Like I would justify why money was everything, and I put all of my value and I put all of my self-worth and rolled up into a dollar, into my job, into the things that I had, the things that the world could see, the things that people would, keeping up with the Joneses. It was all about a dollar to me. It was all about the clothes, the purses, the shoes. That I was like, I am not buying clothes at Walmart. Shit. Everything I got on everything, I'd probably not, because this is all not, but maybe. My shorts are, I know. And the universe says, oh, really? Oh, really? You want to think that the only things that matter in this world are dollar things. Let's hold my beer. Hold my beer. Everything that mattered, everything of value that I had, everything. All the things I worked constantly to do these things, to put the 20% down payment on a $300,000 house. All I did, it was never because I wanted to give my family a home. It was never because it was not the house I could afford. I could have went and bought a house that was $110,000. My husband's a carpenter. We could have rehabbed it, we could have done all the things. I'm like, we're going to build a brand new house. We're going to never put hardwood. Never putting granite. All the things that I couldn't afford. Because my dad's like, you're one paycheck away. I'm like, I've never not had a paycheck. I've never lost a job. To get fired and escorted from a building. So y'all see the shadow work with me never taking time off. Because I lost my job after taking time off to go spend the last time with my mom. And I'm like, well, obviously I can't do that. I've lost everything because I chose to make better choices. I thought it was a bad choice. When I tell you I've dealt with some big shadow work, it was horrifying. It was every piece of who I thought, everything that I thought mattered about me, everything that I thought people would love about me, all the things I could do for them, all the things I could provide for them, everything that I saw that gave me my worth was snatched. I mean, snatched. When Red and I moved here, by the time we scraped and scrounged every penny we had, right? We had to move out because the house was being foreclosed on. We were losing everything. I was hoping that they would give us time to get our cars. There was a little while there where we didn't have a vehicle. Didn't have a vehicle. And I was like, what in the actual hell are we going to do? And he and I looked at each other and he was like, eh. He was unbothered. He's like, eh. His money didn't change, you know? He didn't tie his worth to those things like I did. It was hard for me, right? I will cry thinking about it. It was hard for me. I lied to my friends. I have friends that probably are not in here, that in this group, that when I've not seen since I've come back, people that I have just looked in their face and lied. Just lied. Yeah, we sold our house and we moved back here. We wanted more land. We did. We didn't have an option, but it happened. It got sold. It got sold. So when I came back here, right? And I told Red, I'm like, no one else is ever going to snatch everything from me again. Nobody. My self-worth is never going to be attached to something that somebody can snatch from me. And then he said, well, stop making your self-worth tied to something that costs money. And my husband said that to me. And then we had a big to-do. I'm like, well, you seem to be nicer when I'm bringing, the fight you get into. The wall that goes up and the shadow work that I've been doing, right? The shadow work that I've been doing and why I give is because I can control it all. Control all of it, right? And what I'm learning is, and it's really hard sometimes for me to do that. And I feel comfortable here. And I feel comfortable in this safe space to share, because some people looking at this are like, well, here's the thing, right? We all have ugly parts, even those of us who people look to for your guidance and your help. And it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, because there's good, there's bad, there's ugly. And some people are like, I would never tell the stuff Red would never tell this stuff. If you don't watch my lives enough, he's out fishing today. But he just like, nobody's know all our damn. I'm like, it's not, you don't tell your business. I'm not telling that from his perspective. I'm not telling you the story from how it made him feel, because I don't know. I don't live in his head. That's his story, his perspective. He can choose to tell that, or he cannot choose to tell that. I told him, I was like, he's got a lot of work to do, a lot of like shadow work to do. And I know that. And I was like, it's going to be ugly and hard. And I said, luckily I had to go through it. I had to go through mine, I feel like, before you go through his, because the world knows that like his is going to be ugly and monstrous and like, ugh. And I'm going to have my shit together, not to take it all personally and try to like, that is your energy, not my energy. And that's the thing. Like I'm a people pleasing crazy person. But what I'm saying is this, right? I kicked the can. I didn't love that house. I bought more than I could afford. I was avoiding, like, I needed to sell that house when I lost all the things that I could have done, all the choices that I could have made when the job went out the window, other than living in the woe is me and the suck and the upper limiting that I deserve it, into the depression, into the anxieties where I was, right? That is how the 2x4 therapy from the universe can be. That's what it was. That's how big it was for me. Right? So I feel like the harder the task, right? If you feel like your shadow work, the thing that you're kicking down the road is bigger than anybody, think about, like, mine was pretty huge, right? I lost everything. I mean, everything, right? I lost all the money. I didn't lose everything. I still had the things that mattered, apparently, but it took me literally losing all the materialistic things. Yeah, I don't mean, when not people like, no, I mean, they came and took my car from my driveway. They came and took Red's car from the driveway. They bolted the house locks. I mean, I love that. Thank you. If she can do it, so can I. Exactly, right? I put my britches on one leg at a time, and I'm wearing them today, obviously, right? Little shorty shorts. Because I want you to see that, because I am not special. We are all the same. We're all the same. And I decided in that moment that I can control my life, and I can't go out and I said, just for today, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do the best I can do, and I'm make some choices. And just for today, and just for today, and just for today, and just for today, that I just for today it for the last several years now, right? I've just for today it now. Every day I get up and I'm excited. I can be grateful for the things that I have. I can even be grateful for all that I lost. Because had I not seen that loss, I would not have, they said was it's not the setback, it's the comeback. Every day that you thought was going to be the last one, the thing that was going to take you out of this world, the thing that was just going to break you and take you out of this world. If you were here watching me today, then you have something more to do. You have something more to say. You have a bigger mission on this planet, third rock from the sun. My goal is to leave this place a little better than I found it. And when I am driven, like I am driven, right? When I am here saying, if I can do it, so can you. I want you to go out and I want you to remember, just for today. Just for today. Just for today. If it seems too big, just for today. Um, One person at a time. I'm going to show my ugly so people know how real it is, but it's only a moment. You can't change the next one, right? Melanie, you have helped. You know what? And it's not me. Like, I don't do shit, y'all. I don't do anything. It is sourced through me, right? It's not me. The words that come out of my mouth, are are the words that are given to me. Like this morning, I was just like Kalima. This morning, I was in my shower. I don't wanna. I said somebody's not going to want to hear this, and I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose people. This is a long message today. I'm going to be on live too long. All of the things, right? And the sources: do your best, do your best, and you need this message as much as they do. You got to do it. You do want it. You got to hear it. You got to say it. Because let me tell you what the shadow work, as so many of you know, we are closing at noon. So if you don't place your order, the last order that's going to be filled before we close will be placed at noon on Thursday. So anything noon on Thursday, that's our cutoff for the Google form. I'm going to put a little like under construction up, and then we will relaunch on June 1st. So this is Sunday sermon. Um, I don't know that I'll do Sunday sermon because I'll be out of town next weekend. So this is the last Sunday sermon until June. I didn't realize this is why this is a long one, right? And we're gonna regroup. Everything in me, and I'm just being honest, and I'm not saying this for anything other than just transparency. I am petrified to close down on Friday. I am already in my brain trying to figure out a way that Melanie and Brittany, I'm like, all it's going to mean is that I'm going to be trying to do what I need to do while transferring orders if I keep this up. I have to close and get this stuff done. Everybody will be waiting for the reopen. Nobody's going to like just completely abandon the Grateful Fed community. They're still going to be there. All the things are fine. I am doing that pep talk every day because oh, I love this. And what I want to start doing is having y'all go live in the group and tell your story, because it's not just the Grateful Fed is not just me. The Grateful Fed is every single one of you. I'm just really nervous. I'm really nervous. I have not taken a vacation. And the last time I took a vacation was when Red and I took like 3 days. We were taking like a week to go to Outer Banks. If y'all remember, we got there Friday. Evan lost our dog Friday night. We drove home Saturday. Do you remember? Like we came home the next day. That was my last vacation, and that was the only one I'd taken in 3 years.
And this vacation is not going to be a vacation. What I'm doing is I'm building out our Square store, our ordering platform, and creating a new summer menu that is going to be our summer menu. Our newer menu, and it's going to be evolving, and I'm getting all the summer concert stuff ready, all of the things ready, and I have to focus on working on the business. I am going to go out of town next weekend. We are going down to Edenton, North Carolina for a family reunion for Red's mother's family. I'm excited to see people and be out of the house and travel. And then I am doing a graduation party for my nephew on the 28th. If you are local, y'all are welcome to come. It is a family friendly event, so we will not be 420 in it everywhere because there's people with kids here. I'm going to be very conscious everything's being put away. We will all be here when you get back. And remember, if you need me for anything, please call. I got you. I love y'all for that. And I do. And I really would love for y'all to help keep the Grateful Fed, the VIP page going. I'm going to schedule in some content. But Red and I have really talked about the fact that he really needs me to unplug. He says, and I agree, and I need to do this. I am tired. And I don't say that as like, y'all, like, I'll get your stuff in this week. I got stuff ready. We got s'mores packages coming out this week. We have, we're test kitchening something this week that the girls don't know about yet. Y'all don't know about yet. That I'm not telling the secret yet. But I've got some new savory ideas. And Evan has actually called me yesterday. He got some cherry cosmos from me, and it's so funny. Y'all will laugh. We're gonna do our card here in a second. But he said, Tammy, he called me at like super early on yesterday morning, and I woke up late because it's rained and we slept in, right? I'm telling the story that I'm going to do a card. We got our daily crystal affirmation cards. And Evan said, I called him back. I was like, he never calls me early on a Saturday morning. And I woke up and I saw that I had a missed call from Evan. And I'm like, you know, when your kid calls, like your adult child calls at weird times, you're like, something's up. Let me call back, see what he wanted. The first thing I said was to Red, I was like, did Evan call you this morning? He was like, no. I was like, well, then nothing's wrong. It's something he needed me specifically for, not Dad. He needed Tammy. It wasn't like an overall like parental problem. Normally, if it's an overall parental problem, he will call my phone first, just because I'm usually the overall parental. And he will then call his dad if I don't answer the phone. My eyes are hurting. Sorry. I was going to get to read this. And so I called him back, and he was like, oh, let me tell you, I smoked some cherry cosmos this morning. Like, I got up awake and baked on Saturday morning, right? And he's like, I got super stoned. Is this on? Okay, it's on the screen. And he said that he was on Spotify, and he saw a thing where you can do like it was a virtual session, and you could have like a Hometown Hippie radio. And he wanted to know if it was okay to put together a Hometown Hippie radio channel, and he could take care of that for me and share it with the group, and we could all add songs and be on the Hometown Hippie radio. And he would help me secure my podcast on Spotify. And how do y'all think about? I was like, that is awesome. Like, my kid is like all for it. And because he knows that this is his legacy, right? Like, I'm like, even if you don't want to do it, I'm going to have it set up to where you'll still like inherit the business. I was like, so you got to understand. And he's like all about getting involved a little bit and learning. And he's like, really? I was like, yes. He's like, well, I didn't know. I was like, why wouldn't that, how would that not be your thing? Like, you're. And he was like, oh my gosh. So he is going to put together a Spotify Hometown Hippie radio, and we can add songs to it, and we can all like contribute to it. And then we can have our Spotify radio. That's where my podcast will be on our station. So he is working on getting that done and uploaded. We're going to relaunch all that on June 1st. I also need Dennis Casey or anybody else who makes things. If you have things that you think the group would like, Dennis does t-shirts, and he's going to be doing a lot. I'm trying to get Dennis to contact me. I'm going to message him today. Some t-shirts. So what I've decided is that I don't make money on the t-shirts at all. What my goal is to make enough on the t-shirts and the branded stuff to be able to pay for the branded stuff, right? So Dennis Casey makes t-shirts. So he's going to start making some fun t-shirts. I hope you can buy them directly from him. There will be like stay elevated and breathe and fun stuff like that, right? So we got those things coming out on June 1st too. So, but yeah, I was a little petrified of taking some time off, but I have got to be in flow. And this is the can that I've been kicking, right? The fear of the imposter syndrome, the fear of as soon out of sight, out of mind, the fear of taking time off and then it just all going away. I have to stand in the power and the knowing and trust that is all is well and all is in divine time. So I'm not going to kick the can. As of Friday, Thursday at noon, we are done. All orders need to be picked up by. We'll have them all out Friday, and then we are here. We're going to be here working and getting the new stuff done. So we're going to pull this thing here. Interesting. That jumped out at us. That's going to be one, but I don't think that's the card. It's interesting. We always get the number. We have 6 people watching and 6 reactions. I have the 6s across the top. So we're going to shuffle these 6 times. As you know, we like to do a collective card for the group for the weekly. This gives us our intentionality, our core questions, our weekly affirmations, things that we can do as a group to kind of stand in our power, a card to kind of go along with the message that was delivered today. So as always, we take 3 deep breaths. I say inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit, or smell the birthday cake, blow out the candle. So we're going to inhale in through our noses, deep cleansing breath, inhaling all the good things. Let's exhale all the bad things. I like sometimes when I'm doing this alone, and I'm going to encourage you to do it as well. Melanie, I know, is going outside today to put her feet in the dirt and to get some like clarity. So when you are doing that inhaling and exhaling, sometimes it is important to be guttural when you exhale. Like sometimes I need to do guttural exhales. Like I just get it out, right? So if you need to like scream it out, scream it out. Sometimes I do the deep breaths until I don't have to scream anymore. And that's just the way to get things out. I have been full of tears lately, and I'm probably going to cry some today because I cried the last 50 days. I don't know what it is. I'm not a crier. I have energy that is in tears and just needs to, it's freeing and clearing. One more. We're calling in our angels, gods, and helpers, all of those that are here to help us and lead us. Give me the card that will make me a clear and perfect channel, the card that this group needs to hear today. Give me the ability to be a channel to give the message that you wish to, for me to give. Okay. 6s again. Okay, we're gonna do 6. We're gonna do 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Heather says, I'll be landing in Savannah at noon on Thursday. 100% me time. First time in my whole life I left home to do an activity that only I wanted to do. That's awesome. Interesting. All right, the card that we got, we've never gotten this card before that I can speak of, and I'm so glad that you're doing some me time. It is Rhodochrosite. Remember your worth. Rhodochrosite. And I want to tell y'all, if I was not throwing a birthday party, graduation party, and if I was not going to be out of town next weekend already in North Carolina for the reunion, my plan was to surprise my Mystical Life group down in Savannah. I was just going to like get a hotel room down in Savannah for the weekend. And I was going to just roll up to y'all sitting around, like having some cocktails, listening to some music over there in one of the squares, and just walk up and be like, what are y'all doing? Like, just to watch everybody like melt down, and I like popped in. But I could not make it happen. Now, I hope that I'm going to invite everybody here in April next year. We're doing April and October will be the spring and the fall festivals here locally. And everyone from everywhere is invited. I'm going to secure rooms and camping and all the things. Okay. Rhodochrosite, remember your worth. Let's talk about this. Remembering my worth, remembering your worth, right? Often, this is exactly what we talked about today, y'all. I'm just going to hold this and read it what it says. Holy crap. Often, we are our own biggest critics. It's important to stay open to the various forms of self-affirmation, but you just might be looking for your worth in all the wrong places. Money, materialistic things. Maybe this card is like, hey, Tammy. Hey, yo, Tammy. Hey. Know that who you are as a person makes you worthy. Who you are as a person makes you worthy. Rather than turning to other people or your list of accomplishments for validations, find your worth from within. That's the shadow work, right? That's the shadow work we're talking about. Your life has meaning regardless of any titles, experiences, or skills. You are important because you are you. When you know your worth, your self-esteem will skyrocket. Know exactly what you deserve and settle for nothing less. This is for everybody, okay? This is for everybody. Core questions. These are our journaling questions for the week. Write these down. Do you feel worthy? Do you deserve more out of life? What would life look like if you acknowledged your true value? So, Melanie, I know that you and Kalima for sure need to write these questions down. Do you feel worthy? Do you deserve more out of life? What would life look like if you acknowledged your true value? What would your life look like if you got what you were actually due? And here is your affirmation for the week that I need you all to affirm in the comments. I am worth it. I am worth it. I need you to say that in the comments for me. I need you to affirm that. I need you to stand in that. I need you to say in the mirror every day this week. I am worth it. I'm going to be doing this affirmation every day this week and every day of the week that I'm off so that I cannot have a panic attack. I can already feel the ulcers in my stomach, y'all. I am worth it. I am important because I am who I am, right? I am worth it, Heather. I am worth it, Elizabeth Clark. I wouldn't be able to handle all I think I should get what I would be due. I am worth it. I want to see you say it, Melanie. I am worth it. Today, don't settle for anything less than you deserve. Nothing less than what you deserve. No settling. No settling. Okay? No settling. I am worth it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I am worth it. Now, Sunstone was the one that jumped out at us. Sunstone jumped out. We're going to read Sunstone because not only are you worth it, it says take pleasure in the things that you do, right? Because how many times do we not find the pleasure, right? Not settling. No settling. I love it. Sunstone. We're going to read it. Take pleasure in the things that you do. Don't just stop and smell the roses. Make yourself a bouquet. If you find yourself moving through your day on autopilot, force yourself to stop and take a moment to appreciate the beauty in your life. We're getting ready to be done right now. If you find you're always focused on what's next, allow yourself to appreciate the moment at hand. You can even put a reminder in your phone if needed. You only get one life. Allow yourself time to enjoy it. Do something that gives you significant boost of energy and happiness. Something that fills your cup. And this is for Heather, right? She's going to go do that thing for herself in Savannah, and that's exactly the kind of things that we should each be doing. Red today is out on the lake checking out. He's filling his cup. He is doing something for himself. And he deserves to do that. And every single one of you deserve to do something that you want to do, right? Take a moment and appreciate the beauty in your life. If you're always focused on what's next, allow yourself to appreciate the moment at hand. That's what I need to remember. I'm always focused on what's next. I need to appreciate what's right now. Tomorrow's a mystery. Yesterday's history. That's why today is the present, because it's a gift, right? Something that fills your cup. Take delight. Something that feeds your soul, right? Take delight in everything you do, because it's those little pleasures that makes everything in life truly worth living. The core questions are going to be, what is the greatest pleasure in your life? What is a small joy you experience every day? I'm going to, no, you did not. I have to still do that, Elizabeth. And I'm going to do a random number generator and we'll figure out who that's going to be in just a second. Okay. So, random number. There were 27 spots. Random number. I spent last weekend in Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee for much reading weekend with my Melman and Phil both are. I love that. I love that. I love that. I'm going to also count how many we have for sure. I love that, right? What is the greatest pleasure in your life? What is a small joy that you experience every day? Like for me, every day, my little small joy, and I'm going to do it right now. We're going to stop the camera. We're going to smoke them if we got them. The small joy that I have every day, I'm going to just be honest with you. I love this time of year when it's a little bit crisp in the mornings. Not cool, not hot, just a little bit crisp. And you can sit out on the deck first thing in the morning. And there's still a little dew everywhere. Everything's a little bit wet. The birds are chirping. All the things. The day is just getting going, right? The day is just getting going. And I can sit out on the deck in a chair. I can look at my bird feeder, right? I can look at my bird feeder, watch the birds feed, watch the squirrels come in and do upside down joys. I take my little bowl or my little pre-rolled cone outside, usually my bubbler because I like to do water filter. I have a nice hot cup of coffee. I have my bowl packed of like a green hit of something delicious. I'm going to do better about doing that on a more regular basis. Smelling the honeysuckle growing alongside the driveway. I have a little honeysuckle growing around here too. Just kind of walking outside, seeing all of the things that like the birds get up and whistle every day, right? They don't have a care in the world for what's going on in my world. Their routine doesn't stop, right? Watching the caterpillars crawl along the deck railing, just seeing how bunny rabbits hop and the fish jump up and eat and deer walking around the pond and my dog laying on the deck by my feet. That is a small joy of just being grateful that had I not lost everything, had I not lost a quarter acre in Chesterfield in a premier neighborhood with a 2-car garage and 2.5 baths and hardwood floors and granite countertops, to move into this 1937 cinder block brick house or stone house with leaky roofs and 1 bathroom, I am happier than I've ever been. And tell me if this is a saying that y'all have heard before. Happier than a pig in shit, right? And when I sit on that deck and get those small gratitudes every morning, it reminds me that the universe, even though the universe might pluck us off the cliff sometimes, it's always there with a giant hand to catch us. So even in those moments when we've kicked the can and the universe has smacked us in the head and taken us to the level in which we are our lowest, right? Even in those moments of feeling like just what in the hell, everything was taken. I can sit on that deck and I can look around and say, but for me hitting rock bottom, none of this would have been possible. I am divinely guided. I am divinely protected. And I have those moments in the morning where I can just have all of this gratitude. It's the small pleasures and seeing the little nature things, the beautiful weather days when the radio's playing and it's got a little like, Van Morrison Into the Mystic playing in the house and I got the screen door open. I've got a hot cup of coffee. I've got a fresh packed bowl. I've got dinner in the crock pot already, right? And I'm like, my family is fed. My family has a roof over their head. I am grateful for this day that we have been given. I'm grateful for my grateful fed community. I would have never met, I would have never trusted, I would have never fallen in and come into contact with Elizabeth Clark or Catherine Davis or Heather Johns or all these people who I would have never met but for. And I am so greatly appreciative of it that I thank the universe every day for taking me to my lowest point. So even whenever you think, right, that you're kicking the can and you're afraid of what's going to happen, that you need to know when you eat that frog, when you kick that can, when you stop kicking that can, you pick it up, throw it in the recycling bin, You get done, spending your days kicking that can and watching it and worrying about it, making sure that you keep it within your kicking grasp and that you know where it's at and that it's still part of your day every day, that you're still having to juggle that between your feet while you're going through life, right? Well, that's still a constant source of struggle for you. What I enjoy every day when I talk about how I can take pleasure is that I can take pleasure in knowing, right, that 35-year-old Tammy survived to become almost 50-year-old Tammy. 48-year-old Tammy. I say 50, but in 2 years, y'all will know because we're having a fucking party. I'm telling y'all now, 50-year-old Tammy's throwing a party. And my family and I are having a fire tonight in their fire pit to enjoy the full blood moon. I can't wait to do some grounding too. Yes, and it is the full blood moon. It is all of the things, right? And a lot of the shadow work's coming out, and it's going to be like just, if you have not, if you're kicking that can, I'm telling you right now, the can is going to have some concrete in it. That can is going to, it's going to be, I'm trying to get to the oh my gosh, we have lots and lots and lots of people who have placed orders this weekend already. I just saw that. I'm trying to get into the spreadsheet so we can go ahead and do our drawing, and I'm going to let y'all get off here today. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's go up here. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 32 plus 3. So 32 plus 3. Nope, that's 32. That's it. 32. So we're going to do 1 through 32. Are y'all ready to see who won the $50 sampler bag on top of the thing? Let's do a random generator. Can I see some drums in the comments? I'm going to stop the camera because I'm going to hit my bowl. Can I see some drums in the comments? Some drum roll? And we are generating. Let me do this. I'm going to share the screen. One through 32, we're going to generate the number. I wish it could be more like, but Number 13. How cool is that, y'all? Oh my gosh, that is so cool because it was a $13 bag for Friday the 13th. I didn't make that up. That is awesome. Like, that is awesome. So whoever got the 13th bag, which that is so cool. Can I get some thumbs up, some hearts? That is awesome. That is like the universe saying, holy shit, that is awesome. So we're going to go back over here. You can't see names. I'm going to go to the very top. So that's the first one, which is a Friday the 13th bag, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing because I just want to make sure that that person's information is not on here. So I have it highlighted. Now I'm going to go across to see who this is. So it's somebody that bought 2. And let's see who it is. We're going to go across. Ashley Joswicki. Congratulations, Ashley Joswicki. Ashley Joswicki. Can somebody tag her for me? She won the other day. It's something else. I can't remember what she won. She was our 700. That's what she won. When we did 600. We drew for 600. She was our 600th person. Congrats on winning. That's congratulations. So it will only, I don't think it'll let me comment. I think it's only commenting over on. I can do it this way. Congratulations, Ashley. Congratulations, Ashley Joswicki. So with that being said, we have done all the things we were supposed to do today. I will be back tomorrow for Wake and Bake Live. I am going to be updating the menu. We are going to be taking some things away this week, adding some things, but don't forget, make sure you get your order in for the next 2 weeks because we are going to be relaunching on June 1st. There will be some contests coming out. We are doing the Summer Consort Tour, as we're calling it, okay? So the Grateful Fed Summer Concert Tour is this, okay? Every person using the new Square store that we have launching on January 1st, okay? everyone, good morning. Congratulations, Ashley. Congratulations, everybody. Is going to, get some extra caramels for sure. We're going to put everyone who places an order on the New Square store from June 1st, when we relaunch, through August 31st. Every city and state that we ship to, or everybody that places an order, your city and state is going to go on the back of a t-shirt, a summer t-shirt. Okay. It's going to be all the different cities and states. And then 3 of the people who place orders, we're going to pull 3 winners, and you are going to get a weekend camp out event. You're going to get the Cannabis Cup, the Fall Cannabis Cup. You're going to be a VIP guest, all expenses paid, and judge of the first annual Hometown Hippie Cannabis Cup in the fall. So you are going to get opportunity to win a VIP camp out weekend for our first annual Cannabis Cup in the fall. You have to pay for your own travel, but everything while you're here is covered, and all your smokables, and you'll be getting a big Hometown Hippie like judges like VIP pass bag, like a whole weekend bag, like a whole like thing with swag and gear and all of those things. So you will want to make sure you're sharing with your friends. There'll also be ways to earn Hometown Hippie dollars for referrals and all the things. I want it going to be manifesting for sure. I want all of y'all to be manifesting that everything works out. If you would like to partner in planning and become a corporate sponsor for it, or a business sponsor for the Cannabis Cup, I would love to work with you. I'm not going to do this by myself, so I'm going to need help with this. I'm looking for local infrastructure and all the things. There is a local campground that is a 420 event spot. They actually have like campers you can rent and campsites you can rent. I'm going to hopefully be getting in contact with them to see if we can rent the entire place. I'm going to get the weekend solidified. That'll all be announced on June 1st. So we're going to do a grand reopening event on June 1st on Wednesday nights. What's Up Wednesday live. I'm going to be going live. We're going to kind of like break ground, because we're going to also be closing on the future permanent home of the Hometown Hippie event center and Dankery, which is instead of a bakery, it's going to be called the Dankery. And we're going to be breaking ground and buying that and closing on that June 1st. So big things are happening June 1st. We got one more week before I'm off for a little while, taking some time to woosah my way through the world. And also, I will get with you. I want to be a private sponsor. Yes, you could be a private sponsor. No problem at all. If you're a local grower, I would also love for you to get your wares into the Cannabis Cup. There's going to be a bake-off, like a bake table. There's going to be a breakfast. We're going to have some charities we're going to give to. I'm trying to find some other local charities to partner with. But we are working to move the Grateful Fed as a 501(c). If anybody has any knowledge on how to set up a charity, we want to set up the Grateful Fed as an official charity. And I've actually found a couple other things with some charities that I want to partner with, like Feed More. We're going to have some food, Peace, Love, and Feast Fest. We got to get it ready to go. So anybody that wants to be on the board of the Grateful Fed as a charity, Heather, I'm figuring you and Melanie and Elizabeth Clark and Kalima, some other people might want to be involved in that. So we will set up some Zooms and things like that. So for sure. On that note, I love each and every one of you. One person, changing the vibration of the world, one person at a time. Yes, one hometown, one person. I would love for Heather to have the first Grateful Fed Toledo chapter. If you are not local and you want to have a chapter, like we're like Redwood Originals, like Sons of Anarchy, we're like Farmville Original. So if you would like to have I'm the Virginia chapter. If you want to have the Ohio Grateful Fed, whatever that's going to have state sponsors, I would love to have you. I'd love to grow us all the way across the country. There's lots of things, next phases, but right? So on that note, have a beautiful, blessed day. It's been a 2-hour Sunday sermon. Did not expect to be here till noon, but sometimes Spirit works. I said, I don't wanna. And it said, yes, you do. So on that note, peace, love, and feast. Stay elevated, my friends. See y'all tomorrow morning. Have a great one.